So hey guys, so Red Studios says, hey Hibby, I'd love if you could do a tutorial on making car indicators blinkers. So we'll do just like brake lights and turning headlights on and off and having turn signals where they kind of like strobe, like they're blinking. Alright, so first we need a free car to use. So if you go Window, Asset Store, and if you go to Redhead Robot, so at the time of recording this, it's not here, but it will be on this page. So he's made a free truck that we can use that we're kind of collaborating, so I'm going to do tutorials using this free asset pack that he's put out. So he's going to keep updating it with more free art, and I'm going to do tutorials using that stuff. That way he can make art for like whatever tutorial I need to do. So import that, import all, and Unity tutorial pack. So let's just create a new folder in the project window called tutorial car light, and we'll just put our stuff inside this folder. So first we'll go create a 3D object plane, and I'm just going to make mine X and Z scale to 100, so it's big. And then inside this Unity tutorial pack there is an FBX source truck body, so bring that in. And you can click this little gear thing and tell it to reset instead of typing 000. And then bring in these wheels and reset. And let's just position the wheels so that they line up with the car good. So inside the wheels here, I'm going to maybe go to a wireframe mode. Alright. Side view. So just both back wheels, I'm going to move them here. And both the front wheels, can move them forward a bit. Alright, so select both the left wheels, move them to a good spot from the bottom view. Copy their X position and put that on the right wheels and just make it a positive number. And I'm going to put my wheels, the entire thing, inside the truck body, and then just move the truck body up a bit. So now we got our nice truck, and he has set it up so that it has a lights section where there's like the headlights are their own thing, and the brake lights are their own thing, and then there's the left and right turn signal lights are all set up so that we can change them. And I'm going to move my camera to position it at 0, 1, -3, so now we can see the back lights there, and we can look at our front lights in this other view. And let's just make this kind of a nighttime scene, so I'm going to select the directional light and make the intensity like 0.3. And its color, I'm going to make that kind of a blue color. And then if you go Window, Lighting, I'm going to bring down that intensity to about 0.4. So next I'm going to go to that folder that we made that we can keep everything kind of separate from the pack. And in there, create a material and call it brake lights on, brake light on, and material brake light off. And so on material brake light off, we'll go to this albedo and click the little circle thing beside albedo and grab the brake lights off texture, double click it, and you can see the material. And then on brake lights on, we'll do the same thing but with brake lights on texture. And then also the emission, we'll set that also to the brake lights on. So now we have an off and an on material that we can use, and we'll swap those onto the mesh. So let's create a script. I'm just going to call it car lights, and on the truck body, let's drag our script on there and double click it to open it up. And so we're going to make a public renderer brake lights. So that's our actual brake lights on the actual mesh. It has a renderer, and that has the materials on it and the texture on it. And we'll do public material brake light on, and copy that, paste it, and do brake light off. And if you go back out here, so we have our brake lights inside the truck, inside lights. It has this mesh renderer, so that's the renderer that we're going to link to, and it has a material. So by default, let's just drag our brake light off material onto it, so they're red on here. And then on the truck body, we'll drag our brake lights rear onto brake lights, so now it's linked to that material. And then we'll drag our materials onto brake light on and brake light off. So now we're going to swap the material. So we're going to go to this thing right here, and we're basically just dragging these lights onto it with code. So back in the script, so then we'll go down into the update, and we'll detect pressing a button for braking. So if input.getKey, so we're holding a key, keycode dot down arrow. So we're pressing the down arrow key. Brake lights dot material, so that the brake lights renderer, it's the material that's on it, equals brake light on material. Else we're not braking, we're not pressing down, not braking. Just put the same thing but off instead of on. Save that and press play. So if I press down, it switches the material. You can see the material in the inspector. Bam. So now we'll just do the same thing for all the other lights. So we'll go back here and create material headlight on and material headlight off and material turn signal indicator light, so turn signal on and turn signal off. And we go to the albedo, so headlight off, albedo, there's a headlight in here, headlights off, texture, and then on headlight on, headlights on texture, and the emission, headlights on, and then turn signal, albedo, indicator off, and turn signal on, albedo, indicator on, and emission, indicator on. So now we got bright, on and off. And then on the headlights front, we'll just put headlights off by default. And on indicators left and right, we'll just put turn signal off on both of those. And then we'll just add code on the script to link those as well. So public renderer headlights and some more materials, headlights on and headlights off. And same thing with the turn signals. But there's going to be two turn signals. There's a left side and the right side. So turn signal left and turn signal right. Turn signal on and turn signal off. And since they're public, they will appear on the inspector, on the truck body. So we'll just drag our headlights mesh and it finds the renderer on that mesh. And our materials for the headlights, headlight off, headlight on, indicators left is the turn signal left, indicators right for turn signal right, and turn signal on, turn signal off. So I'm back inside the script. Underneath the braking stuff, we'll add headlights on and off. Let's just do if input dot get key down. So that's what we initially pressed it. We're not holding it down. Get key is holding it down. Get key down is like you just pressed it. And we can just go quotation marks 1. So if we press the 1 key and duplicate that and go if we press 2. So we'll turn them on if we press 1 and we'll turn them off if we press 2. So just the same way the other thing worked, we will do headlights dot material equals headlights on and headlights dot material equals headlights off. So save that and play. And if I press 1, the lights are on. Press 2, they go back off. And I don't have to hold it. And if I hold down, the brakes are on only if I hold down. So let's go back to the code and do the turn signals. So we'll go steer right. So if we're pressing to the right, so if input dot get key key code dot right arrow. So we're pressing to the right, then turn signal right dot material equals turn signal on. And if we're pressing to the right, then turn signal left will have to be off. And duplicate all that and go else. If we're pressing the left arrow, then turn signal right. Oh, we gotta change these to left. Turn signal left. So turn signal right will be off, and turn signal left will be on. And then put another else. So we're not pressing the left arrow or the right arrow. Then both of them should be off. So just put them both there, off. Save, and if I play, if I hold to the right, we got the turn signal on both screens, both the front and the back, because that's the same object. And then next we got to make it blink, because it looks kind of weird if they just stay on. So let's go back into here. So at the top of the code, let's add a, so we need to keep track of whether the turn signals are on or not. So we'll go private bool, which is a true or false, right signal on equals false by default, and we'll do the same thing for a left signal. So left signal on is false by default. And then down where we're steering left and right, so from pressing to the right, turn or right signal on is true, and left signal on would be false. And then copy those, and then if you're pressing the left arrow, then right signal would be false, and left signal would be true. And then if you're not pressing on either of them, then they would both be false. So underneath here, we'll go if left signal is on, so what we're going to do is we're going to use a math thing, Mathf.PingPong, which ping-pongs between two numbers. So we're going to go float floor equals 0f, and float ceiling equals 1f. Then we'll do float emission equals floor plus Mathf.PingPong, and go time. I do multiplied by 2f, so it's going to go twice as fast as it normally would. And then ceiling minus floor. So this emission number is going to ping pong over time between 0 and 1. So it's going to be like 0 and then 0 point something and gradually go up to 1 and then gradually go back down, back and forth between 0 and 1. So now we're going to go into the turn signal, and on the emission, it has this number here for how bright it is basically. We're going to move that between 0 and 1. So back on the code. So underneath that we're going to go, so this is the left signal, so we're going to go turn signal left dot material dot set color underscore capital emission color new color 1 1 1. So that this is RGB, so red, green, blue, and they're all to 1, which is like 100%, so it's white. If they were all 0, it would be black. So, and then we multiply that by emission. So what it's doing is, we have this number, we could change these numbers. This is the bottom number and the top number, and it's ping-ponging between those two numbers. And then this new color, it's being multiplied by that number. So these numbers are ping-ponging between 0 and 1. So this color is going between black and white, basically. So it's like how bright that emission setting on that material is. So we'll duplicate this and just make it the right signal write signal on. So if write signal on, all the same stuff, but then write should be good. Save that. And if I'm holding to the right, it's strobing, it's changing the emission brightness. And left one too. Cool. And let's also go into the truck here. Let's create, inside the lights, let's create a light spotlight. And I'm going to make its rotation 0. I'm just going to call this spotlight left and make its spot angle. I'm going to make it 60 and then just move it around so that it lines up good with the headlight. So this is the left. I'm also going to go to my gizmos and just bring it down so I don't have to look at it. So there's that light. And then I'll duplicate it and make its X position a positive number and call that spotlight right. And put both of these inside truck, inside lights. So now you've got some lights coming out of there. And when they're positioned good, just take the intensity down to 0. And then let's add some code to link to those. So public light, spotlight left, and public light, spotlight right. Save that and go back to the truck and drag them on. Spotlight left, spotlight right, and then go back to the script, and in that section where we're turning the headlights on and off, let's go spotlight left dot intensity equals 8 and spotlight right dot intensity equals 8. And then if we're turning them off, let's make it 0 again. So save that and go back. Play. Bam. So now there's a nice, oops. There's a nice lights on and off. Turn signal that blinks, and brake lights. Links below. I'll put everything up on Dropbox so you can just download the completed project if you need it. Peace out, yo.